Continue to follow the story about suspicious fires in the city of Prichard, where 7 have happened in just the past few weeks. Fox News reporter Renee Dials looked into how arson cases are investigated, and it appears Prichard has a different approach than other cities along the Gulf Coast, including Mobile.
Numerous suspected arson fires in the city of Prichard have raised tensions among city leaders and business owners like Bishop Arthur Holmes, whose business burned this week.
All the pieces of the puzzle is not together. I'm not publicly accusing anybody, but I am suspicious myself.
The fire investigators who are trying to determine who set the fires and how may find it a lot more difficult now that the buildings are gone. This fire happened early Monday morning here in Prichard, and within hours the building was torn down. Now apparently that's not the way other fire departments handled their arson cases.
We need to control custody of the property and collect all the evidence that we can from that property, because once we let it go and give it back to the owner and they decide they're going to clean that lot off or whatever the case may be, then we lose any chance later on of collecting evidence from that.
Mobile Fire Rescue spokesman Steve Huffman says no building is ever torn down before the city's arson investigators have collected all of the evidence and released the building. He says that can sometimes take days.
It's just like Mobile. I was a fire marshal in Mobile. Nothing's changed.
That's what Prichard Fire Chief Mark Trenier said when asked about his department's handling of arson cases. We wanted to know why some of the buildings were torn down so quickly.
Because the buildings were very unstable. And we have a problem out here with people going into the building trying to salvage copper and wire and everything. We didn't want a building to fall in on anybody.
Does that compromise your investigation, though, when you...
Not necessarily, no. No, not necessarily. We can get in there and do what we need to do.
How do you do it if it's gone?
It's still there. Everything's there in that pile.
We also asked for numbers on arson cases that have been solved in the city. The chief said that information would be provided later. In Prichard, I'm Renee Dials, Fox 10 News.
We also contacted the Saraland Fire Department, and they said a building would never be demolished within an hour or hours of a fire when arson is suspected.